You're watching Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Free agency rolls on. We're recording this on Monday as a part of our live show. So at the time you're seeing this, there might be some more moves that have occurred. But nonetheless, we're going to react to everything that's happened in free agency so far, answer your questions, also look ahead to the draft, and whatever else is on the minds of the 12s out there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the $10 super check coming in from Myron. Myron wants to know, thoughts on drafting a quarterback of the future if that QB is Jackson Dart, third round. I would be surprised, Myron, if Jackson Dart's available in the third round, but I think drafting a young quarterback is not a bad idea, especially since you're likely going to move on from Sam Howell. You'll need a backup quarterback. I think Sam Darnold is your quarterback of the future, but I always subscribed to the Belichick philosophy. Draft quarterbacks late, and they could be a backup for you. They could turn into a trade chip down the line. If they look good and you like things about them, you can find a spot for some of those late-round guys. Dart, I don't think is available third round, but I think there's other guys like Dylan Gabriel, Quinn Ewers, Tyler Schaff, just to name a few. Jalen Milroe, a potential possibility, and there's talk that Jalen Milroe might move positions at the next level. So, yeah, I'm all ears about drafting a quarterback in day 3 and going potentially from there. Pablo with a $50 super chat. Let's go, Pablo. Pablo writes in, I would like the Seattle Seahawks to draft Nick Emanwari or Matthew Golden. I like both those players. Emanwari's position isn't the biggest one of need, but he's been a standout so far at this point in the offseason, in the draft process. I'm not going to be mad if you draft him. I think he's got star potential at the next level. Matthew Golden, I think, would be a really good fit for this receiving core, especially with this team having a lot of slot receivers. I think Golden could potentially stretch the field and use his speed there. By the way, Pablo, thanks for asking. My mom's birthday was very good. She had a fantastic birthday. Took care of Mom, took her to lunch, got her massage, and I'm doing great. So, Pablo, much appreciated. Salute to you. Thanks for sending in that $50 super chat, supporting the show, and we appreciate you, man. Thanks for that super chat there. Dan the Man Miller with a $20 super chat writes in, we should be cutting Howell. If we do, who do you think we should get as a backup quarterback? Yeah, I think Howell's gone. I think Howell came to Seattle with the idea in mind that he would get the chance to compete for the starting quarterback position at some point in time. Obviously, that's not happening with Sam Darnold as your next starting quarterback in 2025. Howell showed you nothing last year. I like the idea of drafting a quarterback day 3 and having them be the backup. And the guys we mentioned, the Gabriels, the Schaffs, the Quinn Ewers of the world, Jalen Milroe, those types, that's what I would do instead of wasting money on Sam Howell and cut him loose and go from there. We are covering the Seahawks each and every day here on Seahawks Today, as it has been a whirlwind the last week plus. I've been working hard. Big Tex has been working hard. Our team has been fantastic here at Chat Sports, doing what we can to keep you posted on every single move the Hawks have made in free agency. We're bringing you our daily videos. We also have our live shows, and whether it's a signing that happens when I'm on the road visiting my parents or at my apartment in the Jones Zone, the infamous Jones Zone, or something in the studio, we'll find ways to bring you videos no matter what on every single thing that's happening. So here's what I need from you guys. I need you to subscribe, but I also need you to turn on notifications. You'll be the first to know when we have new content here on Seahawks Today. So subscribe now, join the Noti Gang, turn on your notifications. If you're part of that Noti Gang, spam Noti Gang in the comments and subscribe now. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV to stay up to date. 12's fan for life writes in, what do you expect from DeMarcus Lawrence? Very good question, 12's fan for life. DeMarcus Lawrence, I got high hopes for it. And the thing that I like about DeMarcus Lawrence is that he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. He's a little bit hungry. We saw the back and forth he had with Micah Parsons last week, saying that he left Dallas because he knew that a Super Bowl wasn't happening, and he's coming in with a bit of an edge. I know some people don't like that and think that, it's a little bit much to already be talking, but I'm here for the smack talk. I love the energy that he's bringing to the table already. If DeMarcus Lawrence is healthy, then this is going to look fantastic for Seattle. Then this is going to look brilliant having him on this defense, and you don't have to pay him a whole lot of guaranteed money, just $18 million. If he doesn't do well, if he struggles to stay healthy, he's not hard to move on from in that sense. I think that's great for Seattle in this circumstance. And like what we've talked about with some of these other free agent signings that Seattle has made, you are signaling you're not going anywhere. You're not slowing down. And that's what you're doing with DeMarcus Lawrence. And Mike Macdonald, he loves these older pass rushers, getting the most out of them, capitalizing on their final years. I think they're going to do the same for DeMarcus Lawrence. I would say I wouldn't expect him to play every game, in all honesty. But if he can be an impact player and play the majority of those games, 12, 13 plus, I'll take that. And I think that he could add another element to this defense and give you some good help when it comes to that pass rush. Grade the signing of DeMarcus Lawrence. It's our pinned comment today. Weigh in. Let us know what you think. A, B, C, D, or F. How would you grade the signing? Weigh in the comments section and let us know. Next question comes from Seahawks on top. Hashtag Seahawks. What do you think about trading down and drafting Nick? I don't know how to say his last name, but he's a safety. I think he's referring to Iman Wari, who we talked about earlier. I don't think he's going to be available later. In fact, I don't even think that he's going to be on the board when Seattle picks at 18. I'm open to discussions about trading down and trying to maximize picks and maybe even get some picks out of next year potentially. But at this point, I don't think he's going to be available for you to trade down. Maybe that changes, but I would be surprised. I think he's going to be picked before Seattle picks at 18. We'll see. But it's a good question, Seahawks on top. The Seahawks fan, Jay, says, who's going to be our next O-lineman in free agency? Well, at the time of this recording, folks, we're waiting on Tevin Jenkins, but there are some others that Seattle has their eyes on, from Lucas Patrick as a possibility. Bradbury got released from the Vikings. Those are kind of the names we're keeping tabs on at this point. We'll see what they do, but there's plenty of work to be done. John Schneider's got to pick up the phone. He's got to get some signings on this offensive line, and got to get some help in the draft as well. But that's kind of the names we're looking at this point. We'll see. Gingerbread Man Sam, the Gingerbread Man. That's the nickname we've come up with Sam Darnold. He's the Gingerbread Man. He's our favorite ginger around here. And that looks like the Shrek picture. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Not bad. I know Tex is the impression guy, but that's my best shot at it. Can Sam Darnold have a better year than he did last year? That's going to be tough to top. Only the statistics, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Got to play with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and a very dynamic Minnesota Vikings offense. If you listen to Mike Macdonald, he would tell you that Sam Darnold's best football is still in front of him at this point in time. And it very well may be. I don't think that this upcoming year is likely to be better than next year. But maybe he can be close. And if he's close to what he did a season ago, then that would be great for the Hawks. If he could have 28-plus touchdowns, if he could get 30, 31, that's going to work for me. Because here's another difference of why his numbers are probably not going to be as good, besides just the personnel. The offensive scheme they ran in Minnesota was very pass-heavy. They passed the football a lot. He's not going to have to throw it as much. Clint Kubiak has made it known that they want to run the football, that they want to be a run-first football team. I don't think he's going to air it out nearly as much as he did in Minnesota. So here is what I would tell you, that the numbers might not show you this upcoming season. Sam Darnold could have a better year, but not put up the stats he had in Minnesota. He could have a more efficient year. So that's my hope. I would be surprised if he has a better year statistically, but he could have a more efficient year where the run game's going and this team roll that way. I think that would be something I'd be very pleased with. Will Sam Darnold be the next great Seahawks quarterback? Are you buying in? Is he him, as the kids would say? Y for yes, N for no. Is Sam Darnold that guy? Weigh in, let us know if you think he is the next great Seahawks quarterback. Speaking of Sam Darnold, we have his jerseys on sale now with free shipping at chatsports.com/Darnold is where you can get yours today. And he is going to be the new number 14, my friends. So don't be wearing that DK jersey anymore. Get yourself a Sam Darnold jersey at chatsports.com/Darnold. Free shipping only for a limited time while supplies last. These things are going hot, folks. You want to get yours now. Chatsports.com/Darnold. We also have other Seahawks merchandise at that same link. Go check it out today. Chatsports.com/Darnold to get yours today. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Edward writes in, Seattle hosted Saints guard / center Lucas Patrick today per Ern Wilson. What are your thoughts if we signed him? Yes, they did host Lucas Patrick. We talked about that on the channel. And Lucas Patrick, not a bad football player. Grades from PFF, not bad. 64.6 overall, 60.3 pass block, 66.3 run block grade. Didn't allow a sack, got called for 6 penalties. I can find a spot for Lucas Patrick on my offensive line. Whether he plays guard, whether he plays center, whether you move Olu from the center to the guard spot, you can find a way to make Lucas Patrick work. He's not my first choice. There are other guys I'd rather have, but he's not a bad fallback option. Lucas Patrick, I think, would make a ton of sense. Last question. Seahawks on top writes in, what do you think about trading up to draft Kelvin Banks? I love it. I love that idea. And Kelvin Banks, I think, is going to be really good at this next level. Some people think he's a guard. Some say he's a tackle. He played tackle at UT. Maybe you move Abraham Lucas to the guard spot potentially and have Kelvin Banks as your starting right tackle. The main thing is, the objective, as we've said before, is just get the best 5 offensive linemen out there. Like an NBA team, just give me the best 5, play positionless. And Kelvin Banks is good enough. I can find a way to get him as a starter on my offensive line. I'll make it work one way or another. For continuing off-season coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.